there's some martial art where kind of the whole thing behind the martial art is taking the opponent's momentum and have it go against them. And kind of what I try to do in people management, and I'm not always successful, but I really like to try that, is do kind of exactly the opposite. Take people's momentum and have it work for them. I'm really, really bad at kind of saying, oh, this person, you know, you should do the... I'm bad at goading people to do something and knowing what they want to do. I'm really good at, I want you to tell me what you want to do, and I want to help facilitate that. I want to help facilitate what it is that you want to do, because you, like me, will probably work harder, smarter, if you're doing something that you love. So, you know, to that end, a lot of my people management is, first of all, building team and making sure there's a lot of information flow amongst the team. Second is really finding people, if you're, for example, my director of music, really like wanted to produce things and had been around some productions but wanted to produce a few shows. Well, he's the music director, so of course he's not supposed to produce shows. But of course I had him produce shows. I had him, you know, find artists that he wanted to work with and artists he was comfortable with, and then go out and produce a couple of shows. And he enjoyed doing that, and then he got tired of that, and so he's moved on to some other things. But I encourage people to dabble and find out what it is they really want to do. As long as you're, you know, it's kind of like, as long as your homework's done, like, as long as your homework's done, you can go play. As long as the job that you're hired to be here and do is still accomplished, I strongly urge you to find your love, to find your passion, to find some place to play. People usually come to me when there's something, when there's conflict with another person, when there's not understanding what a job assignment might be, when morale is a bit down, and quite frankly I wish people would come a little bit earlier than when the morale is actually already at the nadir. But that's when it seems to come around, and much of the time I'll try to get everyone together to have people talk it out. Sadly, it's tough to get people to talk because they always feel there's going to be repercussion. Even when, you know, empirical data kind of proves like, no, I really want to know. You can speak your mind and there's no repercussion. It's tough to have open dialogue, especially in larger forums. So I try to have smaller forum discussions. I try to have a couple of people who, you know, I'll call moles, who are, you know, kind of on the front lines, kind of gather information and bring back as to never proper nouns, but what's really the ill in the office, and try to solve that. But mostly just try to have a good time. Try to encourage people to be creative. I keep telling people I'd much rather pull you back than push you out. Like, I will applaud if you know what, John, that was a bit too far. That was a little too far there. I applaud your effort, but can we scale it back 10%? In a creative environment, I think that's extremely important. One of my favorite things to say is my worst day in the music business is better than my best day at banking. I'm one of the few, the fortunate, who really got to follow a passion from childhood through you know, teenage years into my adult life, of working in music, working in television, working with artists that to me changed my life. I mean, music to me changes my life. There's songs that I hear that really, you know, that if they're nostalgic, they take me back, but music consumes me, and people make fun of me kind of when they see me listen to music, because listening to me is not a non-physical event. Like, there has to be movement when there's some kind of music on, especially music that I love. And that I get to get that passion and get paid for it is just astonishing to me. I really feel like I'm the luckiest guy that I know. I'm sure that there are other people who feel that way, but I'm extremely blessed and extremely fortunate to do what I do for a living.